Hey, welcome to this Kidmin Training to Go. I'm pretty excited for what we have going on tonight. We have a great interview with Josh Humpa, who is the kids pastor at Discover Church in Oak Creek. And I just want to let you know ahead of time. So we recorded this earlier today, and we had it available. We have it available for you right now to watch. But as you'll notice, there was some technical difficulties getting this video going. My mouth and the lips are not synced at all. It looks terrible, but the audio is good, and Josh's information is great. Somewhere about halfway through the video is like 30 some minutes. Halfway through the video, I figured out how to fix it, and so it was fixed about halfway through. Just don't pay attention to my lips. Just listen to what I have to say, at least for the first half of the video. Josh does a great job giving you some tips and tricks for KidMin. Thanks again for being part of KidMin Training to Go. God bless you guys. Enjoy the video. So, Josh, it's good to have you with us, and your first weekend at Discover Church at this last weekend. How'd that go?
It was great. It was a wonderful Sunday. We feel so blessed that the Lord has really been good to our church. We went from Oak Creek Assembly of God to Discover Church, and man, there was great momentum and excitement. One of our biggest Sundays outside of Easter that we've ever had. Our biggest Sunday outside of an Easter Sunday.
Yeah, I was just telling Josh that I think it's going to be hard for me to say Discover Church. I'll probably call it Discovery Church. I'm sure I'll call it Oak Creek a number of times, something like that. But Josh, we brought you on here. I know I'm going to flatter you just a little bit. You are one of the more creative people that I know, and you always have a lot of tools in your toolbox. And so we brought you on and said, could you come on and just talk to us as children's ministries leaders and tell us what types of tools and tricks and tips do you have for us as children's ministry leaders? And I thought maybe we could start off with the whole idea of just working in a service. What types of tools would you recommend for those that have kid ministry services?
I think all of us have this idea of like getting stuck, right? You have your order, and that says you kind of do this at this time, and you keep doing it in that time. And the trick is to not get stuck and just doing what you've always been doing. And so something I saw, it may have been even Brian Dollar's church, is that they're really good about doing a would you rather type question right after worship as a transition point. And a big focus of ours within our kids ministry is we want kids to connect with each other. That it's not just sit down and shut up. We want them to engage and have great friends. And so we always do a would you rather. And so just Googling would you rather. But another big part of that is games. There's some sort of games where it's interactive, where it's not just watch the screen, but instead you have to find a partner, find somebody sitting next to you and play this game. And the website that I use the most is Download Youth Ministries. They have so many game options. It's incredible. And they also have a subscription service. So if if you're in it regularly, you're getting games regularly, you can get them at a discount. And sometimes they'll even throw in free stuff in for you. They also have curriculum and countdowns and other video stuff. But really, all I ever get on here is games. And man, they're constantly giving new stuff that goes along with whatever the season or whatever is hot right now. And man, the kids love it. They absolutely love it. And you just build your catalog that in a year from now you can pull out another one. They're usually about $3 to $6 per game, but they are so well worth it. They're very, very fun.
Yeah, I saw, Josh, we used those at Kids Blast. I used them at Kids Blast as MC, and it engages everybody in the audience. And one thing I like about them oftentimes is that the games are not just like you bring somebody up on the platform, but it's a whole group participation many times in the game. So a lot of great games. So good tip.
Another thing that we do is we can never you can't talk to kids, right? Like I tell some of the other pastors that I feel like I could go preach, right? I can go shoot my mouth off whenever I want and preach. But with kids, you always have to have some object lesson or some sort of activity, hands-on thing as well. And it takes so much creativity to figure out something new each week, something that ties in with what you're trying to get across from the word. And so honestly, the greatest tool in doing that is just Googling it. So, for example,
Yeah.
if you're doing a lesson on forgiveness, just Google forgiveness object lessons. And you may have to go through 3 or 4 pages and go through different hits, but you'll see something and something will trigger something in your mind. The Holy Spirit will begin to speak to you. And every week, I haven't bought curriculum in years because Google has so much stuff. There's so much stuff out there that's just available and free. That Googling object lessons or ideas, that's all you needed today, which makes it so simple. I've thought, how did kids pastors, even 20 years ago, how'd they do it? You have to have like
Uh,
17 books to do this kind of stuff.
Josh, I have in my basement, I have oodles and oodles of books of object
Yeah.
lessons. Yeah, I mean, I was always buying a $5 to $10 book on object lessons, and I have shelves of them. And so now I've started saying I can't keep all these books, and so I've started digitizing them, but yeah, Google is a big help. I call it Google University, and you'll get education if you go through that. But
Yeah, it's cheap, it's free, right? And the world of creativity is out there. And even just how to learn how to do stuff. You want to do video editing, you want to make a podcast, you want to do anything, just Google it. Whenever other staff members ask me, how do you do this video thing? It's like, well, Google real quick. Let's just Google it, and I'll give you your step by step. That'll be easier than me telling you. And
yeah.
Google everything.
And part of that is YouTube is part of that whole Google process. I mean, YouTube is owned by Google, and the second largest search engine in the world is YouTube, right behind Google.
Yeah. Another thing that we do is we use Spotify to play music. So we do music from the beginning to the end, unless the video is being played. So we have hype music, Christian hype music. And if you want to see a sample of what we do, we have Discover Church Kids Music. I just changed the name from Oak Creek Kids. It's Discover Church Kids Music. I think it's a playlist. Just some examples, or even if you want to just use it has nothing to do with our church. It's just music that other creative kids people have put together. But that's the hype music that we play before services and during like hype discussion moments. But we also use background music during messages. And I kind of look at it like this way. It's like a movie, right? There's always like a soundtrack going on in the movie that creates a feeling or, an emotion that's you're trying to communicate, whether it's excitement or suspense or curiosity. And so we play this music in the background, and it's supposed to be just like that, just like in a movie when you don't even notice that it's there, but it's there. And so there's tons and tons of different feel type music. And the reason why I use Spotify is because through the app, you can actually control any device from another device. And so if ever I need to change something or the tech kids aren't paying attention or whatever, I can always pause, raise the volume from my phone or my iPad back to the computer in the back through Spotify and control it that way. Or if you need to change to a different song or anything, then you have manual control as well from a different device, which is very, very helpful.
Yeah, no, I mean that's awesome that you can do that. So you're talking about just with your phone or an iPad, you can control the house on it. Now, my question for you: can anybody else hijack you on that in the room?
Yes, but only if they have your account information. So we use my personal account, and so sometimes I have to text my wife and say, please do not use Spotify right now. Not that she's listening to anything wrong, anything that she shouldn't be listening to,
Right.
but I don't want her to
interrupt everything.
Yeah,
you don't want to interrupt the whole thing because all of a sudden you got something like, and I didn't mean to play that.
Yes,
Like,
totally kills the mood.
Pastor Josh, what are you doing?
Yeah,
you're in the middle of worship, and all of a sudden some hard rock song or something comes out. Like, whoa, wow!
Right. So, and with that, a great tool that I've used is with ProPresenter. There's actually an app that you can get for your phone or your iPad or whatever tablet phone device you have. And so if you need to control something from the stage, you can control it using your iPad. And so what's great is I don't have an example of it now, but what you can do is you can split screen on the iPad so that Spotify's on one side and then ProPresenter's on the other, and you tap on it and it'll put up the image up on the screen for you. And so if you ever need to just in a pinch, you have to control the screen, you have to control the sound yourself. It's so easy and seamless. It works so quick, and it doesn't even look like you're scrambling around to do stuff. So very, very helpful, especially in those pinch moments.
Yeah, and I suppose there might be times when there's an intentional reason why you want to have control of it for, especially maybe the pro presenter. And so, explain what pro presenter is. I don't know that not everybody may not know what pro presenter is exactly.
Man, this is like across the board in our church. This is like the go-to thing for services. It's a way to manage what's displayed on the screens, whether it's pictures or videos. You can even control music through that if you load it in, Bible verses. And so it's software that you pay for as a church, and man, it makes it so easy to click through and get through something. So it's like an upgrade from like Keynote or PowerPoint. So instead of having
Yeah,
a specific order, you can click on exactly what you want at what time. You're able to arrange things, create playlists, add lyrics. So then you can click the lyrics and change the backgrounds.
yeah,
Very, very. It's very simple once you learn how to use it,
yeah.
and game changing.
So, like a keynote or PowerPoint on steroids. Just
Hmm.
yeah, excellent program and a lot of versatility and a lot of things. You'll probably never end up learning everything that it can do. As there's so much
Right.
that it can do. There's a lot of
There's a
stuff to
lot.
that. So those are some great things for services. Anything else you want to tips or tricks you want to share with us?
Yeah, sure. We love free.
Right.
So what one of the things that we do is Life Church, Craig Rochelle Church, they have the free Bible app for kids.
Yeah.
My earpods keep moving to my iPad if it's switching over with the sound. But they also have a curriculum here, and so we use that free curriculum with our preschool and nursery. And one of the reasons why I wanted to do that for our church is that we wanted kids. You can do the Bible app at home, and it's the same thing that they're learning at church. And so it's an easy way for kids and parents to be able to interact with each other, right? And like get that stuff. So if you're learning about, let's say Jesus feeds the 5,000 at church, they can go home and they can play with that app, play the games and stuff at home with their parents, kind of talk through it. And that's the idea. And kids love the screens, right? And so it makes it really easy for kids to
Yeah.
want to do the Bible. My 4-year-old son is in preschool. Man, that's his excuse to use the iPad. He's like, "Can I use the Bible? Can I play the Bible app?" And he loves it. And it's like, of course,
So
that's your way to read the Bible.
so how do you facilitate your like early childhood teachers to encourage using this app at home? Is there something that you send home with parents about that, or what do you do with that?
Yeah, we put up the artwork all around. This curriculum is so nice because it does everything's free and there's a lot there. We do pad it. We had our own crafts a lot of the time and in like large group lessons and stuff. Um, but this curriculum is very simple and easy. And so in emails, we really encourage parents to do that. In elementary, we say use the Fire Bible for kids. And then over in preschool and nursery age, we say use this app. There's a physical Bible as well. There's kind of two versions of it, and both are great. It's just those great stories, like the core stories of the Bible.
Yeah,
So just constantly telling people about it when they ask what kind of Bible should I get, telling them posters on the wall, emails, any chance we can, we tell them about it.
yeah. So we put on the screen, if you go to open.life.church, you can find that Bible app for kids and also the curriculum that's there. A lot of great resources there. Great, thank you. Thank you. So let's talk about. Did we talk about planning your service and check-in and stuff like that? I know that you had wanted any recommendations on one check-in process and planning your service, putting it together.
So we use Planning Center. We used to use, boy, what was it called? I don't even remember what it was called, but we've been with Planning Center for a few years now, and it's been wonderful. Everything about it is great. Any changes that we've ever recommended, they've almost immediately have jumped on it, and it's very, very simple, very user friendly. And so we have a few manned stations around the children's areas where if somebody's new, big signs that say if you're new, come here. We have volunteers help them fill out. Otherwise, there's self check-in kiosks where somebody punches in their phone number and they get the sticker for the child with a code and then a code as well. And then even on the back end, man, it is so easy to get the information and data that you need. You can set up so many custom ways to email or reach out to families, create lists that you need to do in order to do follow-ups or to let specific people know how to do things. And then even with registrations for events whether it's Bible quiz or kids choir or like the VBS camps that we do. The registration stuff is so easy and so simple, and even the card processing fees, for the events that you do have to pay for, it's not very expensive. It's very, very reasonable. We've been very happy with it, and yeah, highly, highly recommend it.
Awesome. So what is, people will ask, what is the cost for something like a planning center?
I don't know off the top of my head. We do it
Yeah.
church-wide, and we also, we do the full package as a church. And so for service orders, whether it's in the sanctuary or elementary, even our devotional rotations, we do devos every morning as a staff. We use that for scheduling, that kind of stuff. Our calendar is through Planning Center. I don't know the cost, but felt like as a church, it's extremely worth the value of it.
So what, from my understanding, is it is a tiered pricing system. So it depends on how many check-ins you have per month or week, whatever. I know we use it for family camp. We use it in the kids ministry for different events as well. I use it for planning for Kids Blast and for Summit and things like that. So there's the planning part of it, setting up a service, and then there's the check-in part. And we started using the check-in part, and it's great. I mean, family camp ran so smooth, just checking people in. Like you said, they provide a phone number, they're in, and actually them just setting up their own family on it was pretty fast, pretty slick, and pretty seamless. We had stations all over Spencer Lake Camp, so that was pretty good, and it worked just easy. So great tool, something great to have in your toolbox. And if you're looking for implementation on that, just go to Planning Center. I think it's planningcenter.com. Let me just check there. Planningcenteronline.com. Go to planningcenteronline.com and you'll find all the things you need for that.